Dark skies are upon us from Monday at 9 on 4.
Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses, yearning to breathe free the wretched greatness of your teeming shroud.
AFC, watch us explode! Keep fighting your butts off and find a way to win. And we are in the AFC Championship game.
Good evening. Henry V's team talk before the big playoff game at Agincourt a few years back, opening the show. And all ye still abed, consider yourselves accursed, because we've got two great battles in prospect tonight. The Green Bay Packers against the Carolina Panthers for the NFC title game. And we'll have highlights of that one coming up later in the show. And the New England Patriots against the Jacksonville Jaguars here at Foxboro Stadium for the AFC title. And that's coming up in its entirety in a few minutes' time. Well, joining us for the game is the finest coach ever to graduate from Harvard with a Master's in English History, Bill's Marv Levy. And Marv, both expansion teams making it this far in the playoffs. As Shakespeare would have put it, who'd have thunk it?
Well, that might have been the case a while ago, but these are an unusual group of expansion teams. They came in at a time where they were given advantages other expansion teams didn't have in the past, and they've been magnificently handled, and they've taken a great advantage of those opportunities.
That's a good point. New teams, but lots of veteran players. And in fact, neither of them is actually the youngest team left in the playoffs. That distinction goes to New England, who have an average age of 26 years old and a 24-year-old quarterback in Drew Bledsoe. Bill Parcells and Drew Bledsoe are football's odd couple. The coach, for whom passing has always seemed to be a necessary evil, granted custody of the most precocious arm since Dan Marino. This season could have been subtitled The Story of How Parcells Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. Last week, the Patriots' quick strike capability produced 3 touchdowns in 7 plays against Pittsburgh. And combined with the running of Curtis Martin, it was enough to put Parcells and the Patriots in the AFC Championship game for the first time in 11 seasons. Standing in Parcells' way is Tom Coughlin, his close friend and former assistant from the New York Giants, who's taken the Jaguars from 0 to the playoffs in 2 seasons. And he's done it with a brilliant young quarterback of his own, Mark Brunell, who's as dangerous out of the pocket as Bledsoe is in it. There's no doubt the Jags are a talented football team, but they've also had enough strange things happen this season to fill an X-Files episode. For one, they keep winning by the same score, 30-27. And their kicker Mike Hollis seems to have an uncanny affinity with the goalposts. One more supernatural bounce their way. We'll have agents Scully and Mulder trailing Jacksonville's team coach to New Orleans. Well, Marv, let's start with things that we can explain. Mark Brunell, we saw him scrambling there, but he shouldn't be overlooked as a pure passer, should he?
Absolutely not. He's thrown for more than 4,000 yards, one of only 2 passers in the league that has done it. The other one, by the way, is Bledsoe, who will be down here today. But this fellow can throw the ball. He has a good touch. He's the counterpart, really, or a prototype of Steve Young, the great San Francisco 49ers quarterback. His ability to run keeps the drives going, too.
Well, here we see him do what Young does so well, which is scrambling. How do you try and defend that? How can you game plan for a man who improvises?
If you try too hard, you're going to make a mistake. If you say, look out for the run, look out for the pass, look out for the screen, pretty soon all you're doing is looking out. I just think you have to play hard and play well and rush in your proper lanes. He's been sacked a lot of times, too. And a quarterback that likes to scramble sometimes does get sacked. So I'm sure that's what New England is counting on.
Now, on the other side of the ball, you've got an equally dangerous quarterback, but a very different one.
Yes, very much so. Much more disciplined in the way he throws the ball. A much more structured passing game that he has, Gary. He has a great set of receivers. Not that Jacksonville's aren't outstanding, but the addition of Terry Glenn somewhere early in the season has had a wonderful dimension. But he is one of the best pure passers that's come out of college in many a year.
And Terry Glenn, the rookie, breaking the record for rookie receptions this year. As you say, he gives them a long threat. Can Bledsoe be rattled, though?
Can he be rattled? Yes, any quarterback can be rattled, and it's going to take a combination of things to do it. First, they have to shut down the running game, and New England is struggling a little bit to keep their great running game going, and the more passing weapons they add, Bledsoe, Glenn, Coates, the more they tend to gravitate away. But can he be rattled? Yes, there have been times early in the year.
Well, you mentioned Ben Coates there, and he's really the man that Bledsoe relies on under pressure, isn't he?
Oh, yes. He doesn't have as many receptions this year as he had last year, but he's every bit as dangerous. The fact that they've added Terry Glenn and Sean Jefferson as a receiver and Byers out of the backfield means that they can spread the ball around more. But if you're going to stop New England, if you're going to stop their passing attack, you better start, so far as receivers are concerned, with stopping Ben Coates.
Now, Jacksonville have possibly a more balanced attack because they're running now, late in the season, with Natron Means, a man you discovered to your cost could run the ball pretty well.
He sure can. He ran for 175 yards against us a few weeks ago, as is evidenced right here. He's added a tremendous dimension to the Jacksonville attack. They no longer have to take big chances, which sometimes result in a big payoff, but in a terrible price to pay also. He has given balance to their attack, and I think they have a more balanced attack than the Patriots.
And does that kind of running suit the conditions out here, cold, hard ground?
I think almost any kind of running suits Natron Means if it's not real slippery or real icy. Yes, so the answer would definitely be yes. I think this is his kind of day.
Without taking anything away from Means, he's running behind an absolutely huge offensive line, and Tony Baselli in particular, the second-year player, has done a great job, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. Tony Baselli was probably the most coveted offensive lineman to come out of college in the past 10 years. Anthony Munoz was a great name, and Baselli from the same school does an outstanding job. He worked well against Bruce Smith, our great defensive end. He got some help in the game, but he is a wonderful talent.
Now, we've spoken for 3 or 4 minutes about this game. We haven't mentioned the defense once on either side. Both these teams heavy on offense, but the Patriots have tightened it up a little bit in the later stages of the season, haven't they?
Yes, they have. They've done a better job of rushing the passer in particular. Fellas like Willie McGinst and Chris Slade doing a good job. They have a nice rookie linebacker in Ted Johnson, who has helped them. Their secondary has been somewhat suspect. Out of the 30 teams, they rank 28th in pass defense. That isn't a championship caliber performance, but they've been able to overcome it with other great assets.
What about the coaches? Old friends, Tom Coughlin and Bill Parcells. Parcells obviously has more experience, but perhaps two men sort of out of the same mold.
Yes, they are. Tom Coughlin worked for Bill Parcells when they went to the Super Bowl and won it with the New York Giants. They're both very sound football coaches. Yes, Bill Parcells has been a head coach longer, but Tom Coughlin has enough experience, plenty of it, to be a very strong coach. I have great respect for them both and for their abilities.
What about the conditions here? Because it's not just cold, but we can see the flags waving behind us. It's pretty windy, too. How do you think that's going to factor in?
Gary, I don't think there is any other weather factor that has a greater effect on the game and the flow of the game than wind. And it is windy and blustery today. You can't really tell what direction it's coming from. I think it'll have great telling effect on the kicking game, not just kicking, but on fielding kicks as well.
Well, one benefit the weather had on the local economy last night, was on the local economy, because the Patriots were offering $10 an hour to anyone who'd turn up here at Foxboro Stadium with a shovel and help clear the stands of snow. Fully clear now. We're about to go to the game. Before we do, though, because I'm sure the commentators are going to mention it, the NFC Championship game is over and the Green Bay Packers have won, so they'll be going to the Super Bowl. We'll have highlights of that one, as I said, later. One of these two teams is going to join them. If the Jaguars do it, they'll be only the second team in history to win 3 road playoff games to reach the Super Bowl. The only other team to do it, the Patriots, exactly 11 years ago today. Interpret those omens how you like. Handling the game commentary for you will be Dick Enberg, Paul McGuire and Phil Simms. Here it is.
We're ready to go. The winner to New Orleans, the Super Bowl against Green Bay. Brooks at the 7. And he's hammered at the 20-yard line. The special teams of New England are coached by Bill Parcells, and he praised them in our chat 2 days ago. Brunell comes on the field in week 4 in an overtime loss here to New England. Brunell had his best numbers of the season, forced to pass as they had to rally from being way down early. Boselli, Coleman, Wydell, Tilsky, Searcy, young, big offensive line. Natron Means, what a playoff he's had. Maston's the blocker. Smith and McCardell both caught over 80 passes in the regular year, and Derek Brown is at tight end. From the 20. Means behind Boselli, nothing there. Stuffed by Chris Slade. The Patriots defensively start this way. Front 4 bigger than the front 4 that started the year. Colin, Wheeler, Sangapulatelli. Willie McGinnis leads the team with 9.5 sacks. Slade loves to rush the passer from his backer position. Johnson, a budding star backer. Collins the other. Law and Smith at the corners. Malloy, a rookie from Washington. And Willie Clay, who led the team in interceptions with 4 at safety. Brunell trying to change his play. And that'll cost Jacksonville 5. Several linemen moved, including Rich Tilsky, the right guard. Jerry Markbright, the referee.
You make those offensive linemen stay in their stances too long. They get too antsy, nervous. Inside the right guard. Rich Tilsky jumps. Again, Mark Brunell audible, and that's the reason why he couldn't wait. Wanted to hit somebody.
All 3 guys on that right side went, and he went down the line to give him the play. With this noise, you almost have to go with what you called in the huddle, at least early. 2nd and 15. Former University of Washington quarterback hit from behind, incomplete. On a blitz, Jerome Henderson, a nickel back. They sent him free.
Jerome Henderson, number 26, follows the receiver across. Nobody picks him up. With his speed, he gets to the quarterback on time to make the hit.
And this is the backside. Remember, you're looking at the left-handed quarterback in this game, and he comes from the backside where he has no one back there to protect him. Henderson, who has played more and more as the season has developed. 3rd down and 15. Out of the shotgun, Brunell. He's got some room to run. Chased by Slade, and Slade gets him at the 20. Jacksonville has to punt. You know, the one thing about this, Phil, you talk about the offense of Jacksonville, you always hear about Brunell. This guy here, you got to do Brunell. But in order for this team to win, Natron Means has to have a big game.
Well, it helps the situations, Paul, but I believe that you got to stop Mark Brunell from making those runs, pulling up and making a good throw down the field.
Kicking into the wind, Barker, and he's tackled back at the 4-yard line. Brian Barker, Larry Wiggum, one of the stars on the New England special teams, in on the punter. The first thing that happens is the ball is centered too high. Now Barker, what he has to do is step up, not out. If you step up, that's where your protection is. Watch where he steps. Barker will go to his right, out where the defender's coming. If he just steps up and kicks the ball, he's got to play.
Like a quarterback, step up into the pocket. They got the guy on the outside block. If he stepped up, he could have made the kick, Paul. You're absolutely right.
A huge early break for the New England Patriots. They take over at the Jacksonville 4. High snap of center. In motion. Curtis Martin, who scored 3 touchdowns last week against Pittsburgh, drives to the 1-yard line. Tom McManus leading the defensive charge. Boy, I'll tell you, old Barker's going to sit there and look at that thing, and all he has to do is step straight up with the ball and make the kick because the man is blocked.
Well, yeah, but you know, he's not put in that situation too many times. So when he gets that high snap, a lot of times, hey, first time, you're going to panic, and tough situation for a punter.
Martin, who had 14 rushing touchdowns the regular year, has his 4th in 2 weeks. Curtis Martin, University of Pittsburgh, a third-round pick, rushed for 1,400, almost 1,500 last year, another 1,100 this. Vinatieri adds the extra point, and the Patriots opportunistically take 2 plays after the high snap of center to lead it 7-0.
2 running plays by the New England Patriots. Both times they kind of overpower the defensive line of Jacksonville. That's the way you want to start.
New England owner Robert Kraft leading the cheers. 60,000 here in Foxboro. The first score for New England is easy, 7-0.
You've just had a bounty. Bounty. Taste the exotic. Minutes into the game, New England presented with a bad snap and a takeover at the 4 of Jacksonville. Curtis Martin scores, and now Vinatieri has it teed up. Will kick again to Brooks and Bell. With the win, Brooks at the 3, outside 20. To the 31-yard line goes the former Buffalo Bill. Ray Lucas makes the tackle. Rich Griffith is the snapper for Jacksonville.
Yeah, but you see Brian Barker. Now watch what he does. Look up in front of him. You know, you have an up back, and what the backs are doing is they're putting people to the outside. They keep them out there. If Barker steps up, he can get the kickoff with no problem at all.
Just like a quarterback, the snapper, high throws are almost always trouble. Low ones, at least you have a chance to catch it and do something with it.
Mark Brunell, just as the Jaguars have started every game of the playoffs, they fall behind early. They did at Buffalo, they did at Denver. Brunell guns it to Jimmy Smith near a first down at the 40-yard line. Otis Smith, not related, covering. You see these 2 young quarterbacks, Brunell's 26, Bledsoe 24. Completions and attempts, the busiest 2 throwers in the NFL this year, and Brunell led the league in yardage.
Well, they were both busy, but they were both good, and I think that's the reason why they're in the championship. Given the opportunities with the ball, they know what to do with it and don't make a lot of mistakes.
Second and short, Maston and Means behind Brunell. Natron earns a couple of yards, but a flag thrown in the pile. We'll see if it counts. It's a first down unless. Holding Jacksonville. The Jaguars were one of the most penalized teams. In fact, led the league most of the year.
Number 71, offense. 10-yard penalty, second down.
Baselli, the first 12 games of the year, You see, they average nearly 10 penalties a game. Look what's happened, though, down the stretch. Only 19 penalties in the last 6 games.
And where this penalty is a backbreaker, Phil, is you've got 2nd down and about a half a yard, and you get a 10-yard penalty. That kills a young team.
So instead of 2nd and 1, it's 2nd and 11. Quickie over the middle, incomplete. Through the hands of Willie Jackson. And dangerously close to caroming back for an easy interception.
Well, that's a play they've had great success with the last 2 weeks. There were basically 4 wide receivers and a tight end. They spread the field. They try to give the quarterback, Mark Brunell, just a little bit of space so he can get rid of the ball quickly. But New England was ready for it. They shifted the defense towards the wide receivers and tipped the ball and almost got the interception.
Brunell on 3rd and 11 from the shotgun. 5 receivers. Throws underneath. Not much there at all. The Reggie Barlow, the rookie from Alabama State, and Teddy Bruschi of Arizona, rookie linebacker. New England was all over it.
Well, Teddy Bruschi, he's really sometimes a 4th down lineman, but this time in a long yardage situation, he diagnoses the play. Hey, what he has is speed. He runs around any potential blockers and makes the play.
Well, Barker has to be on his toes here after his last episode. Good snap from Griffith, and he just gets it over Larry Wiggum's try. Dave Meggett, the veteran, former Giant, returns to the 38-yard line. 36-yard punt, 6 on the return. Bruschi has done his work. New England back on the field.
Well, Marv, we saw New England do it last week. They've jumped out to another quick start this week, 2 plays and a touchdown.
They certainly did. It was the pattern last week that helped them get up on Pittsburgh. They also did it without having to use a lot of their wind time, so they can get it back again right now with the wind at their back. I know that the play-by-play commentators commented on it, but Barker could have gotten that first punt away.
And then Martin goes in, and it seems that the New England defense is now teeing off on Mark Brunell, playing very aggressively.
Well, they are right now. The penalty hurt him. He's been in long yardage, have-to-pass situations, and right now they're playing up tight. They need a big play to break out of it.
We did see on the first series, though, he wasn't successful, though, a little preview of what he can do when he starts to scramble.
That's right, and he's not going to be successful every down. Here they only run a 3-man rush, and part of that is to make him pull the ball down and maybe have to run it. Then a lot of people can converge on him. They were in a zone, so players didn't have to run off. They could come back quickly to try and stop him because he needed a long distance to go.
Now, we talk about New England starting quickly. Are they the kind of team that needs to do that in order to turn it into a sprint, you know, to get ahead and take the momentum?
Well, almost any team likes to start fast, but with New England in particular, now they can run the ball. They don't have to force the pass. They can get balance in their attack, so it's very meaningful to them and their style of play.
Yes.
Tom Coughlin's not going to get away from nature on means, though, is he? He's not going to panic early and abandon the run.
He certainly shouldn't. It's 7-0. They've got to come up big on this defensive series, but it would be a mistake, in my opinion, and Tom Coughlin doesn't make many mistakes.
All right, they're teeing off on Brunell at the moment, and the Patriots have the ball. Let's go back to the action.
Foxboro Stadium thanks you for not smoking in the stands today. Smoking areas are located in the north and south food court areas. And through a great selection of quality food.
The one thing they tell you in training camp, always pay attention, Brian Barker. Watch Wiggum come in, boink. You got to look all around you, man.
He gets upset by this because he gets his uniform dirty. You know, those punters have to hit the ground. I like that.
Bill Parcells trying to do something that no coach in NFL history has done. Win a Super Bowl with 2 different teams. From the 39. Bledsoe's first pass, jumbled by Byers, and he pulls it in at the 43-yard line. Kevin Hardy, the rookie from Illinois linebacker, makes the stop. Let's introduce the offense for New England. Armstrong to another Pro Bowl with veteran Roberts, former Giant, Woolabaugh, Rucci, and Lane. It's a lot of stars, a lot of Pro Bowlers on offense. Bledsoe goes to Honolulu as his running back Martin does. Byers from Miami midseason. Jefferson and the brilliant rookie Terry Glenn from Ohio State. Ben Coates, another Pro Bowl year, the tight end. On second down, the toss to Martin. He runs
Vikings into a pack of white jerseys at the 44-yard line, where it'll be a 3rd down and about 4. Yurkovich and McManus on the Jacksonville side with the tackle, and here are their starters: Lageman, Davey, Yurkovich, and the veteran Simmons, who's had big plays in both of the playoff wins. Hardy, McManus, and Robinson, the backers. Aaron Beasley, a rookie from West Virginia, at one corner. Mickey Washington, the other. Dana Hall, Chris Hudson at safety. Only 13 interceptions all season long for that defense. Long 4. They bluff the blitz. Bledsoe down the middle, incomplete. Terry Glenn, he didn't drop many during the course of the year. Caught 90, in fact, at Glenn, more than any rookie receiver in NFL history.
Well, it's a good job by the New England offensive line picking up the rushers when they came. And look at the hole Drew Bledsoe has for Terry Glenn. Terry Glenn takes his eyes off it just a second before the ball gets there. That causes the drop.
Tom Tupa. Parcells doesn't praise many players, but he had high acclaim for Tupa's acquisition. He said, he gives me a 3rd-string quarterback, and he's been a terrific punter. Chris Hudson, the safety at the other end, scuffs this one. Line drive. Boy, Hudson waited long enough, didn't he? And he pays the price. Tackled back at the 10-yard line. 9 minutes, 8 seconds left in the opening quarter in New England.
First play number 15, Ray Luke.
Everyday stress. Sit back and enjoy our therapy session. Sit back and enjoy our therapy session. For a longer session, call 0990 200 200.
In tomorrow's 10p Times, read New Year, New Career with your own personal profile. Free in the 10p Times tomorrow.
Looking to the north, the setting sun in the downtown Boston. We go online to NBC.com/sports. Hear from some of the NFL's top coaches regarding the playoffs. Get inside the NFL. Go online, NBC.com/sports. Current weather in Foxboro, 25 degrees with a 21-mile-an-hour wind. The wind chill 6 degrees. 7-0 New England from the 14. Brunell's 3rd possession. Got room outside. Feigns the throw and scrambles out to the 24-yard line. A 10-yard run right at the sticks. Chris Slade made sure he did not get more.
Phil, does he freeze Chris Slade with this pump?
Well, he freezes everybody. Watch the defensive line. They get too far down inside. And Mark Brunell gets outside very easily because of that. You've got to stay in your lanes. And, hey, is he going to throw? Is he going to run? Hey, you're a defensive player. You don't know.
You got to wait for him to make his decision.
Right.
First down to the 24. That's 2 scrambles by Brunell for 15 yards. Really the only positive yards the Jaguars have at the moment. Means cuts back.
Plenty of blue jerseys at the 25. A gain of a yard. Todd Collins, fourth-year linebacker from Carson Newman, led the charge. There's the man who snapped on the first punt, Rich Griffith, and injured him on that play. Paul Fraze, that accounts for his being the snapper on the last punt. Left ankle sprain is what we hear. Ineligible man downfield against Jacksonville, or too many men on the field. Too many men on the field. Tom Coughlin with a quizzical expression. That's the kind of penalty a disciplined coach hates to see.
Well, you're making some mental errors in the beginning of the ball game. You can tolerate a whole lot of things, physically getting beat, Phil, but you cannot tolerate mental errors.
Illegal substitution foul. Number 73, offense. Failed to report. Was the end man on the line of scrimmage. Penalties declined. Second down.
So you have to report when you're an eligible receiver, and Brian DeMarco did not. He was uncovered.
That's right.
50s, 60s, and numbers in the 70s are the ones that have to report.
But they decline it. New England, 2nd and 9. Means gaining only a yard on that carry. Brunell comes out shotgun. McCardell in motion. Good protection. Wide open is Pete Mitchell, and the tight end who played at Boston College has a first down. 12 on the play. Mitchell was the third leading receiver for the Jags this year with 52.
Well, Pete Mitchell on the inside. He has the option when he goes down the field to break in or out. It's a tough position for the defensive back, and Mark Brunell and him, they've been reading together all year long and doing a very good job at it.
There's Mitchell's numbers on the regular season. First down at the 37. New England leads 7-0. Midway in the first quarter. Means on the draw. Caught in the backfield by Willie McGinnis. Former Southern California All-America.
One of the things I'm seeing with this defense of the Patriots, the defensive line and linebackers are staying close to the line of scrimmage.
They are, and Willie McGinnis, number 55, does a good job getting in the backfield, then readjusting and making the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. You want to stop a running game, penetration destroys it. So far, New England's doing a good job of that.
McGinnis, who had a solid year, 11 sacks last year, 9.5 sacks this past season. And that play looked as if it was going to get some yardage, but for McGinnis. 2nd and long. Means smothered again, and every time Means gets the ball, there are 2 or 3 Patriots on him, led by Ted Johnson, the middle linebacker from Colorado.
Dick, and that's the support I was talking about. If you take a look at the line and linebackers, all of these guys are heading right to the ball. They're not worried about it. They know that the people in the secondary are going to stay on their men. That's what Bill Parcells stressed all week long. Don't leave your people downfield. That frees up these linebackers.
Jaguars have, along with making less penalty mistakes, have not coughed it up. No fumbles the last 3 games. And Brunell has cut down on his interception rate in part to Natron Means' success. 3rd and long. Underneath he goes. And short of the first down is Keenan McCardell. Tackled at the 44. He needed 3 more. Chris Slade made the stop. And the punting team sent out by Coach Tom Coughlin.
For one thing, when Jacksonville comes into the game, like they did that time, 5 wide receivers or 4 wide receivers and Pete Mitchell. New England twice send the guy out of the secondary on the blitz. The offensive line, they can't account for him, makes Mark Brunell throw the ball before he wants to.
3rd punt attempt. Of course, Barker had to swallow one of them, make it at the 21. Wheeling out to the 33-yard line. 12 yards on the return for Meggett. Only 35 on the punt. Timeout. 5.5 remaining. Opening quarter.
Well, Marv, you were talking about the Patriots' ability to strike quickly. They're still very much on top, but Terry Glenn dropped the perfect opportunity to put them even further ahead, didn't he?
Well, I thought so. I thought if there was a play which helped maybe stabilize the momentum in the game, it was a third down that Terry Glenn was not able to hang on to. Jacksonville could sort of take a deep breath and say, okay, it's only 7-0. Let's get back into our game plan. Here it is. Fine throw by Bledsoe right into the chest of Terry Glenn, who is usually very dependable on that. In fact, the tougher ones he catches better than that one.
He's a rookie. He had a great playoff game last week, so it's not like it's his debut, but do you think that might unsettle him?
No, I don't think so. I think every receiver says we're going to drop some passes sometime, and they shrug it off, and the quarterback has a lot of reliance in him. He won't forget him.
On the other side of the ball, they're really attacking the run, aren't they, the Patriots?
Yes. In fact, at the last break when we talked, I said that Tom Coughlin will not abandon the run. But right now, the New England approach is if you're going to beat us, you're going to have to beat us with the pass. We're going to bunch a lot of people at the line of scrimmage. We're going to bring extra guys and rush the quarterback. If he does some scrambling, okay, we'll give you that. But we're not going to let you run with Nate Trone. Means we're going to make you try and beat us in a one-dimensional manner.
Okay, so the Patriots are up. Oh, well, no, here we are with the replay. Here's Mark Brunell scrambling. As you say, they're happy to give them this if they can't run the ball effectively.
Well, that's right. They hope they can react to keep him from doing that. Brunell is a good scrambler, and he will, if they keep this up, do some scrambling. If it becomes too effective, then the Patriots are going to have to do some adjusting. But right now, what they're doing is working.
All right, we are going back to the action now. The Patriots are up. Let's rejoin it.
All right, Phil, Jacksonville defense, what they need to do is do what they did against the Denver Broncos a week ago. Play conservative. Don't give up the big play.
But, you know, that's right, Paul. They want to do that. What they really want to do, too, they wouldn't mind getting in a throwing contest with New England sometimes. They feel like Drew Bledsoe, if you make him throw enough, will make 2 or 3 bad decisions, force the ball in coverage, and they hope to get the turnovers.
On 2nd and 5, the draw. Hit in the backfield for a loss to the 36 by Tony Brackens, the youngest man on this Jacksonville team, just 22, from the University of Texas.
Tony Brackens just gave us an example, Phil, of what penetration is all about. He got in the backfield.
Tony Brackens, number 90, gets up the field, doesn't allow the runner the choice to make a cut in or out.
Barry Sanders was tackled for a loss more than any other back, 44 times. Martin was second with 40. Have to be a good back to be tackled for that many losses. Bledsoe lets it go wide open. Sean Jefferson to the Jacksonville 41. Dana Hall made the tackle. 23 yards.
Well, you hear so many times it all starts with the offensive line. They did a great job of giving Drew Bledsoe plenty of protection, nobody around him, and Sean Jefferson running down the field. The defensive back slips, but nobody is in the middle of the field for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Easy completion.
And again, Bledsoe had all day, Phil, to throw the football. When you have that much time, you better find somebody open.
Jefferson had 50 catches on the year, his career high, former San Diego Charger. Martin weaving, gets outside, gets a block, breaks a tackle, and he's out of bounds at the 31. 10 more yards.
One of the things that you cannot do when a back comes out to the outside with the speed of Martin is duck your head. You've got to get upfield. Beasley, watch this. When he comes up to make the play, you duck your head. When you duck your head, he's gone.
I think what Curtis Martin did on that play right there is what coaches call playing above the X's and O's. You don't have to block it perfectly all the time. He made something happen once he got the ball.
Martin now, Dave Meggett replaces him, the lone running back behind Bledsoe. First down at the 31, Meggett. 9 more yards. McManus made the tackle along with Eddie Robinson.
What a wonderful play by Dave Meggett, Philly. The play was designed as a draw to go up in the middle, and it didn't go that way.
Well, Dave Meggett comes in the game. The teams always think, well, it might be a passing situation. Dave Meggett finds the hole. It's to the outside. He's a patient runner. That's the big key with him, why he's successful. He waits and lets the blocks happen. Then he makes his decision.
On the way to the Pro Bowl is Meggett, such a valuable all-around player. Second, officially call it an 8-yard gain. 2nd and 2. Fires in motion. Toss. Martin to the 20 to the 19. First down, New England. Bracken's made the tackle.
Well, Curtis Martin had such a big game last week, and Bill Parcells was on him the whole week leading up to the Pittsburgh game. He says, you know, Curtis, do you have big game disease? Because every time we get in them, you don't play that well. So he did a great job last week. So this week, what was the thing? Hey, Martin, do you have very big game disease? Can you do it in a really big game? So, Bill, I think he's answering your question early. He's ready to play.
He never can please the Big Tuna, as his nickname was tagged as coach of the Giants. On first down, play action, Bledsoe fires, intercepted on the deflection. It's Aaron Beasley, and the rookie is to the 20 to the 22-yard line. Bullaball made the tackle. Beasley, who had only 1 interception in the regular season, with a key pick as Bledsoe's pass deflected.
You got control of the game. You got to be a little conservative. Watch Ben Coates run down the field and break it out, and just look at all the defenders around him from the Jacksonville Jaguars. He goes down the field, 3 defenders, front, back, to the side. You cannot take those chances when you got control of the football game.
Tom McManus, the linebacker, had drifted back, number 55. It appears he gets the tip. There it is, and it goes right there in Beasley.
And this goes right back to the beginning when we said Phil and Dick, make them throw the football. They will make mistakes.
First down at the Jacksonville 23, 7-0 the score. Brunell play action on first down. Throws down the middle, complete at the 45 to Jimmy Smith, and Smith has a first down near midfield. 22 on the play.
Well, if there's wind in Jacksonville's face, I didn't see it that time, because Mark Brunell just throws a strike down the field to Jimmy Smith. Good job selling the route up the field, showing the speed, make the defender think you're going deep. When you break in, nobody's there.
Smith out of football 2 years ago with another big catch. Best field position for Jacksonville to their own 45. Fumble, and Brunell appeared to cover an errant snap.
Dick, Smith is a wonderful story. You know, when we talked to him last week and about being out of football, and then, you know, here he comes back, and you, most of you saw the catch he made last week. Here's the thing. Brunell just doesn't get the ball into his hands, but smart enough to get down on top of it.
When the ball drops straight down, that means the quarterback didn't get his bottom hand up on the football. So, sorry, Mark, I got to blame it on you. I'm sorry, they just got to get that bottom hand up on the football.
Final minute, first quarter, 2nd and 10. The roll, the throw, the tight end Derek Brown, the former Giant, pulls his way to a first down at the New England 44. Probably the last play of the quarter. Brown oft injured.
Mark Brunell throwing with a little pressure in his face. Willie McGinnis coming at him, but does a good job. He's really an excellent thrower of the football on the run.
Lawyer Malloy rodeos him down, and close enough for a measurement. First down.
First down, Jacksonville. At the Patriot 45.
Mark Brunell enjoys golf, and he said, hey, that might hurt whoever's coming in behind. That'd be a tough lie. And that'll be the final seconds of this opening quarter. 7-0 New England. You're watching the AFC Championship on NBC.
Well, it's a game of momentum, Marv. The Patriots have had it for almost all of that first quarter. The Jaguars have just started to take it back.
They certainly have. The interception was a huge play. He wanted to go. Bledsoe wanted to go to Ben Coates. Coates was a lot of people around him, but there was a receiver in the end zone behind the whole group, but he was looking for Coates, and this is the big turnaround play right there. They moved the ball a little bit, and with the second quarter coming up and the wind at their back, the Jaguars have to make hay right now.
Is that a case, do you think, of Bledsoe being overconfident or over-reliant on coach, thinking I can force this ball in regardless of the coverage?
Well, I don't know if that's really the case. I think he saw him early and decided to go to him. He's completed a lot like that. It was just a good play on the part of the defense, too.
And you were talking about the run having been taken away by New England and the Jacksonville Jaguars having to pass. They started to.
They started to. In fact, they faked a run on their first down and hit Jimmy Smith for a sizable gain. Got them for the first time in this game out in operating position. Here's the fake to Natrone Means. Brunell coming back. He's getting good protection because he faked a run. The defense is bunched. A very fine throw to Smith, and now they're out there where they can do something, where they can call on what their game plan is supposed to be.
And I don't want to belabor a point, but I remember in their game against you held them to 3 punts on their first 3 possessions, and it looked like you had the game in control, and then an interception for a turnover, and suddenly they were back in it.
That's right, and I was thinking about that as I watched this game. They did it last week against Denver, sputtered early and then came back. So this is a very resilient team, one that bounces back and doesn't cave in easily if something goes against them early.
And they have the ball down 7-0 to start the second quarter. Let's go back to the action now.
It's great to see Bill Parcells around Mickey Cochran, because it's really the only guy on this earth who can kind of humble Bill Parcells. He does a good job. They still got that coach-player relationship, and it's wonderful to see after all these years.
Second quarter open, 7-0 New England. Jacksonville in Patriots territory for the first time, and Natron Means having trouble buying any gain at all. The entire inner defense of the Patriots there to smother his attempt. The Jacksonville Jaguars, final 6 games of the year. Look at how their rushing yards improved, and that, of course, was the emergence of Natron Means, injured earlier in the year. James Stewart, the leading rusher for Jacksonville. Means takes over, and he's been most difficult for the opposing defenses in the playoffs. Brunell throws low this time, incomplete, intended for tight end Pete Mitchell.
Well, Dick and Paul, when you rush the football well in the National Football League, you don't have to take chances. You're always in control. And look at Jacksonville. That's the reason why their turnovers went down and penalties went down. You're in situations you can control, not the other team, and it makes it a lot easier to play football and winning football when you're running the football well.
Only 2 interceptions by Brunell the last 6 games. It's 3rd and 8. Screen complete. It's the tight end Mitchell again, and he rumbles for a first down at the 34-yard line.
Boy, was that play set up beautifully.
It is, Paul. It's set up beautifully. It's something that Kevin Gilbride, who's used to coaching the run and shoot, brought to this offense, and to Tom Coughlin. Middle screens, a great job by the offensive lineman, letting the defenders come in. Timing is the most important thing on screen plays, and it worked well. There's Kevin Gilbride.
He's considered one of the top picks to take over for Bobby Ross, head coach at San Diego.
Been successful for a long time, Dick. He deserves a head coaching job in the National Football League.
Corner blitz. Brunell breaks 1 tackle and unable to outrun Chris Slade on the corner. Slade gets him down for no gain.
Let's go back to that graphic a little while ago about the turnovers and not the turnovers when you're running the football, Phil. And it got the conversation in one of the meetings where even when you throw the ball as much as Brunell did, it's not necessarily a good thing.
Well, that's right, because you're in situations that are tough, Paul, and you can just see Mark Brunell, what a factor he is. Even when you have the right defense called and get to the quarterback, he's tough, he's big, strong, hard to bring down sometimes.
They mark it back at the 36, so that's a sack for Slade, a 2-yard loss. Throws complete again to the tight end, and Mitchell is finding a lot of openings in that secondary of New England. Todd Collins made the tackle.
Well, Jacksonville has a lot of faith in its offensive line. 5 wide receivers. This makes the linemen block one-on-one. And look at Tony Baselli against Willie McGinnis. Ex-teammates. Big size difference, but Willie McGinnis has that speed, and that creates power. Gets the best of Tony Baselli there.
Yeah, Tony Baselli had his hands in his face mask. They could have called a face mask penalty.
3rd and 5. Brunell fires a 21 by Mitchell again. That's 4 catches for Pete Mitchell, who was recruited by Tom Coughlin to come to Boston College and acquired Mitchell from the Miami Dolphins last year.
One of the things that are happening with Mitchell, they're getting Mitchell one-on-one on a safety, and when you got that matchup, that Brunell's just he's playing catch with him.
That's why he's there. Tom Coughlin knows he just has what they call feel for a a receiver can get down the field, push out people, and make the catches.
Deepest penetration, Jacksonville. Means again, only able to gain 2. Ted Johnson there to lead the defense. Johnson, a budding star at middle linebacker, the man with a 20-inch neck that likes to read romantic novels. He says, nothing I like better than a good love story. He's single, too, girls.
Look at the neck on this guy.
You know, you got to be tough to say that thing in the National Football League if you like romantic novels.
2nd down 8. Means a little more for the power driving Means as he's inside the 15-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
Well, Jacksonville knows that they can't win this ball game only on the arm of Mark Brunell. They have got to be able to run the football. And Tom Coughlin is, as we've talked so many times, Dick, a disciplinarian. He's going to go back to the running game. He's going to run the football.
Means comes out on 3rd and 3. This is the 12th play of the drive since Aaron Beasley made the interception and returned to the Jacksonville 23. No one in the backfield. Mitchell, the tight end, in motion. Brunell in trouble, throws it away. Mitchell was close enough that no flag goes down. Slade was all over Brunell. So Coughlin will bring on the field goal unit. That means Mike Hollis, second-year kicker from Idaho. He made all but 6 in the regular season, 30 of 36, and you see he's only missed 1 in the playoffs. Certainly one of the smallest kickers in the league, only 5'7", 175. This one from 32 yards with the win. And he plays it through. Jacksonville on the board with 10 minutes, 33 seconds left in the opening half.
To relax, call 0990 200 200.
Dans l'Eurostar, j'ai la liberté de bouger. On the Eurostar, I have the freedom to move, to think, to work, to breathe. Je me demande, and so I have to ask myself, does a bird in a cage sing as sweetly as a bird who is free?
This overnight service from the UK really knocks me out.
Millie, the stripes, the stripes.
Clients just change their mind.
It's purple!
Overnight.
I got travel insurance from the post office back home. I got it while I was picking up my traveler's checks, so I'm fully covered.
I grow pineapples. I turn them into chunks. I sell them all over Europe. As for my invoices, I get the Royal Mail to send them from London to all my customers in one big chunk.
The post office, winning people over all over the world.
Welcome back to Massachusetts. That's Foxboro Stadium, wide open and nowhere to hide in the frigid temperatures. The Patriots lead it 7-3, but the Jaguars are back in things, having driven well, but being held to a field goal. Here we are. Let's pick it up with the Patriots about to take possession.
Fayetteville Jaguars go 62 yards, 13 plays to get the 3, 7-3 the score.
Impressive how they did it. They showed a lot of patience. They ran the football, kept those third down situations makeable for a quarterback who can run well and throw. And if they continue to do that, yeah, they're going to be in it all the way.
Hollis with the advantage of the wind. But this one is short, very short, all the way to the 20-yard line for Meggett. And Meggett out to the 35-yard line, tackled by Robert Massey. Well, next Saturday from the frozen east, we go out to the warm desert sun. NBC Sports brings you the Bob Hope Chrysler Classic. Join Bob as he hosts celebrities Leslie Nielsen, Greg Maddux, Joe Pesci, Richard Dreyfuss, our own Mike Ditka, and others in his traditional meeting in the desert. The Bob Hope Chrysler Classic coverage begins next Saturday, 3:30 Eastern, and Sunday, the final round at 5 o'clock.
I hope Mike Ditka is at least honest about his handicap. I think he's a 1 or a scratch. So, Mike, don't be going out there with that traveling 8.
Martin hit at the line of scrimmage and pushed back. Don Davey, former Wisconsin star, first to get to him. Davey, number 92, a brilliant guy, has his master's already in biomedical engineering. He's 4 consecutive years a GT academic All-America. That's never happened before. All 4 years. He all A student throughout high school and an A student in the University of Wisconsin.
He's too smart to be playing this game.
2nd and 10. A pump and a long throw by Bledsoe. And it comes down short to Sean Jefferson. You could see the wind bat that one down. Randy Cross is with us.
Thank you, Dick. You know, the reason that kick was so short and you saw it just could drop out of the air, there's no real wind direction down here on the field. It's more like wind shear. The ball will get up in the air and the wind knocks it straight down to the ground. Back to you, Dick.
Didn't it just happen on that pass? I mean, Bledsoe looked like he put enough in it. Watch this ball just die. It comes down and just drops. I mean, that's not even close.
3rd and 10. Good protection for Bledsoe. Comes this side, complete to Terry Glenn, but short of the first down at the 42-43. Beasley, the young corner, on the coverage, and the punting team on now for New England.
You know, we're looking at Jacksonville, and we talked about it, Phil. Just be conservative. Just do, you know, don't get carried away. Don't go trying to blitz and do all these different things. Just be conservative defense, and that's what they're doing.
That's right. And New England did the wrong thing. See, they jumped out and topped 7-0. See, Jacksonville gets confident once they get behind. They got to get behind before they feel like they're in the game.
Tupa's first punt with a win. This one into that sheer-like force. And backpedaling to the 13. Down at the 19 with a fumble, and New England says they have it. They do. The man who made the snap, Mike Bartram, recovers the fumble.
Well, one thing that happens on days where it's cold, the football, it gets hard, it's slippery, and it comes down the receiver's hands a lot easier. Excellent job by Marty Moore causing the fumble.
There's Marty Moore coming in and just ripping it with his arm.
He's the first and 10 Patriots of the Jacksonville.
Tupa, the punter, leading the cheers. 2 big breaks on the kicking game for New England. And Martin skipping through a big hole to the 10-yard line. A gain of nearly 10. So if you're just joining us for this AFC Championship, Bill Parcells saw Brian Barker unable to get a punt off, and on 4th down, New England took over at the Jacksonville 4, and this man Martin scored 2 plays later on a 1-yard run, and now the fumble on a punt. So special teams, and Bill Parcells did have that twinkle in his eye as he talked about how well they played all year. 2nd and 1. Fake to Martin. Throw incomplete. As if he almost threw that one away down at the feet of the receiver.
He did. I mean, that's what you call a good throw, because there's nothing open. Don't create a bad situation for the team. It's 2nd and short. And that's the one thing you learn as a quarterback. The coach has given you that opportunity to take a shot, but don't make a bad play out of it. We can always pick it up on third down with the run.
And just because they gave you the hit sign 3-0 doesn't mean you have to chase a curveball outside. You can let that one go.
That's right.
3-1, 3rd and 1. Double tight end, Martin. Oh, is he slugged short of the first down yardage. Kelvin Pritchett, the former Detroit Lion, and veteran Clyde Simmons with a penetration.
There is no decision here. You kicked the field goal. They already stuffed you. You had 3rd and 1. You lose a half a yard on the play. There is absolutely no decision at all. You get that 7-point lead back.
Rookie Adam Vinatieri from South Dakota State, the Jackrabbits in Brookings, South Dakota. They had their share of ice and snow up there. Vinatieri accustomed to kicking in cold weather. This one 29 yards as we have a power failure. A bank of lights have gone out.
All the way around the stadium. Across from us. It got dark.
Scoreboard is impacted. One scoreboard completely out, and the other is blinking futilely.
Well, looks like we'll have to come back and play it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, let's go down to our electrical expert, Jim Gray.
Well, I don't know about that, Dick, but I've just been told by security here at the stadium that the east transformer just went out, and they're on a backup generator right now. They'll send the people in the New England Power and